In this video, we'll explore the unsettling changes facing America's treasured national parks under the Trump administration, revealing how industrial interests are being prioritized over conservation. From weakened protections and budget cuts to the influence of powerful lobbying groups, the integrity of these protected landscapes is at stake. We'll delve into alarming developments like drilling in sensitive areas and the reduction of national monuments, highlighting the long-term risks posed to these vital ecosystems. Join us as we uncover the pressing challenges of preserving our national parks amidst increasing pressures from the coal, oil, and gas industries. 1. Weakened protections for national parks. Under the Trump administration, the protections for America's national parks were notably weakened, opening the doors to industries like oil, gas, and mining. The administration's policies altered the very essence of these parks, which are revered for their untouched beauty and ecological significance. By reducing restrictions, the administration allowed industries to tap into these pristine lands. This shift in policy was a dramatic change from the conservation-focused initiatives that previous administrations had championed. National parks, once safe havens for wildlife and nature lovers, faced the looming threat of industrial exploitation. The new policies posed challenges for those who sought to preserve the nation's natural heritage. 2. Drilling and mining in protected areas. One of the most controversial moves was the rollback of environmental regulations that had previously safeguarded these lands from drilling and mining. This decision meant that industrial activities could now take place near, and sometimes even within, the boundaries of protected areas. The implications of this are profound. Consider a serene national park where families once hiked and camped, now echoing with the sounds of drilling. The environmental impact of such activities is significant, potentially leading to habitat destruction, pollution, and the displacement of wildlife. This shift signaled a departure from the ethos of conservation that characterized the establishment of national parks. 3. Budget cuts to the National Park Service. The National Park Service, NPS, responsible for maintaining these treasured lands, suffered severe budget cuts under the Trump administration. These financial constraints resulted in reduced maintenance efforts, staffing shortages, and weakened protections for the parks. A park that once had a robust team of rangers and conservationists now struggled with limited resources. Trails became overgrown, facilities deteriorated, and the visitor experience suffered. The implications of these cuts extend beyond aesthetics. They affect the very ability of parks to fulfill their missions of conservation and public enjoyment. These budgetary limitations posed long-term risks for the sustainability of the parks. 4. Reduction of national monuments. The Trump administration also reduced the size of multiple national monuments, notably Bears Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante. This decision opened these areas to industrial development, including mining and drilling. The reduction of these monuments was met with widespread opposition from environmentalists, indigenous groups, and outdoor enthusiasts. These lands hold cultural, historical, and ecological significance that transcends their physical boundaries. By shrinking these monuments, the administration not only altered the landscape but also set a precedent for future policies regarding public lands. The maps of these monuments, showing their original and reduced boundaries, tell a story of loss and transformation. 5. Lobbying by coal, oil, and gas industries. The coal, oil, and gas industries actively lobbied for access to public lands, and the Trump administration granted many of their requests. This close relationship between industry and government led to policies that favored short-term economic gains over long-term environmental health. The lobbying efforts were part of a broader strategy to maximize the extraction of natural resources from public lands. While these industries celebrated increased access, environmentalists raised alarms about the potential for irreversible damage to ecosystems. The administration's decisions reflected a prioritization of industrial interests over conservation, marking a significant shift in the stewardship of public lands. 6. Alaska's Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. In Alaska, the Trump administration lifted restrictions on hunting and drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, ANWR. This move opened one of the last untouched wilderness areas in the United States to industrial activities. The ANWR is home to diverse wildlife, including polar bears, caribou, and migratory birds. Drilling in this sensitive environment poses significant risks, including potential oil spills and habitat disruption. The decision to allow drilling in the ANWR was met with strong opposition from environmental groups and indigenous communities, who argued that the ecological and cultural value of the region far outweighed the potential economic benefits. 7. Logging in national forests. Trump's policies also paved the way for increased logging activities in national forests, further threatening wildlife and ecosystems. Logging can lead to habitat fragmentation, soil erosion, and a decline in biodiversity. These forests are vital carbon sinks, playing a crucial role in mitigating climate change. The decision to allow more logging was seen as another instance of prioritizing industrial interests over environmental protection. The long-term consequences of increased logging include not only ecological degradation but also a loss of recreational opportunities for the public. The policies highlighted a tension between economic development and environmental stewardship. 8. Influence of private companies on national parks. Private companies gained more influence over national park operations, including concessions and land use decisions. This shift raised concerns about the commercialization of public lands and the potential for profit-driven motives to overshadow conservation goals. The involvement of private entities in park management brought about changes in the way parks were run, from visitor services to infrastructure development. While partnerships with private companies can bring benefits, such as improved facilities, they also risk compromising the integrity of the parks. The balance between public interest and private profit became a central issue in the management of national parks. 9. Lawsuits and legal battles. In response to these policies, numerous environmental groups filed lawsuits to block Trump's rollbacks. However, many of these policies went into effect before legal battles could halt them. The legal challenges highlighted the contentious nature of the administration's approach to public lands. Environmentalists argued that the rollbacks violated existing laws and undermined the conservation objectives of national parks. While some lawsuits succeeded in delaying or reversing certain policies, the overall impact of the administration's actions was already felt across the nation. The ongoing legal battles underscored the complexity of balancing environmental protection with economic interests. 10. Long-term risks to national parks. The policies enacted by the Trump administration put national parks at long-term risk, complicating conservation efforts for future administrations. The changes made during this period altered the landscape of public lands management, making it more challenging to restore previous protections. The long-term effects of these policies may not be fully understood for years, but they pose significant challenges for conservationists and policymakers. The legacy of the administration's approach to national parks will likely influence debates about public land use for generations to come. The task of balancing economic development with environmental conservation remains a critical and ongoing challenge.